Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to start a new topic, and this is in reference of the investment and the interest rate relationship. In the previous lectures, you have discussed two important variables. One was the consumption, another one was the savings, and the relationship with that of the income. So today we are going to discuss the third variable that is very important in order to understand the basic concepts of the GDP, and that one is the investment. The relationship between the investment and the saving is that all what we save is eventually turned into the investment. So now we are going to discuss within this chapter that investment depends upon what factors, and among those factors one of the most important factor is the interest rate. So first of all, we will discuss that what do you mean by the investment and what is the relationship between the interest rate and the investment. The interest rate and the investment relationship. Now, first of all, I would like to give you the definition of the investment. Now, the investment consists of the spending on new plants, capital equipment, machinery, inventories, and the construction. So you should know that investment is all that thing which is going to be spent on some new factories, some new roads, new hospitals, new schools, new cars, new machinery, and all the new things. Anything which is being spent on the purchase of any new capital which is going to generate some income stream for you in the future, that is now going to represent the investment. The investment decisions weighs heavily by comparing the marginal benefits and the marginal cost. So whenever you have to make the investment, you have to make the comparison among the marginal benefit and the marginal cost, that what the benefits you are going to get from investing in this project, and what are the different costs you have to bear for this project. If the marginal benefits are greater than the marginal cost, then you should go for that investment decision. But if the marginal costs are greater than the marginal benefit, you should not opt for that investment decision. So it is actually the marginal benefit and the marginal cost decision. We have to compare both of these things. Which one is high? If the marginal benefit is high, we opt for that project. If the marginal cost is high, we are not going to opt for that project. Now, what do you mean by the marginal benefits? Now, marginal benefits are the expected rate of return is the marginal benefit. And what do you mean by the marginal cost? The interest rate is actually the marginal cost. So we have to compare two things. One is the expected rate of return, that is actually our marginal benefit, and the other one is the interest rate, that is the marginal cost. Now, what do you mean by the marginal cost? It is the cost of borrowing funds. It means when you have to borrow the funds from the bank, you have to return the principal amount, and along with that principal amount, you have to pay an interest, a markup of usage of that funds. It may be monthly, or it depends upon terms and conditions of you and the bank, that how you have borrowed that funds. So expected rate of return represents how much you are going to expecting to earn in the future. It actually represents your profit, expected profit that you are going to earn from that for the investment into that project. So if the expected rate of return is greater than the interest rate, then you should go for that investment project. If the expected rate of return is less than that of the interest rate, then you should not go for that investment project. So the marginal benefits from the investment is the expected rate of return business hopes to realize. Actually, it is the expected profits, and the marginal cost is the interest rate that must be paid for the borrowed funds. So from this, we have learned three basic things. Now, what do you mean by the investment? Is actually the investment is whatever you are going to spend in the purchase of some new plants, capital equipment, which is going to generate the income stream for you. And in order to make the investment, we have to compare two things. One is the marginal benefit, another one is the marginal cost. Now, the marginal benefit is the expected rate of return, and the marginal cost is the interest rate. So expected rate of return means what you expect to get in the future in the form of the profit, and the marginal cost is the interest rate. It is actually the interest rate is the cost of the borrowing funds from the bank. Now, what do you mean by the expected rate of return? As I have already told you, that the expected rate of return is formed by comparing the expected economic profit. And by economic profit, you should know that economic profit is actually the difference between the total revenue minus the total cost. Now, in case of the total cost, we have got two types of cost. One is the explicit cost, another one is the implicit cost. In case of the economic profit, we are going to deduct both of these costs from the total revenue, but in case of the accounting profit, only explicit cost is being deducted from the total revenue. So the expected rate of return is actually our expected economic profit, and we have to compare its expected economic profit to that of the interest rate. So, for example, if a project gets $100 expected profit on $1,000 investment, so the expected rate of return is actually 10%. Then the business does not want to pay more than a 10% interest rate on the investment. Now, if the bank has offered a loan on the 12%, now the expected rate of profit is less than the marginal cost, so you should not opt for that project. But if the bank is offering the funds at the rate of the 8% interest rate, then you should go for that investment project. Now, note that the expected rate of return is not a guaranteed rate of return. Investment carries risk. Now, expected rate of return is actually the expected economic profit, which we are going to expect that we can generate it when the our plant or our factory becomes the fully operational. So it is a future, and in case of the future, we can estimate, we can predict, we can estimate the profit, but that estimation is not sure to be the guaranteed, because there are lots of risk and lots of unforeseen things that could happen, and the actual profit may be less than that of the expected profit, or actual profit may be greater than that of the expected profit. So investment is a component that carries risk. Among the three variables which we have discussed till: consumption, saving, and investment. Investment is the most volatile factor. It is the highly risky, it is highly volatile, because there are lots of factors which are going to affect this factor. Now, interest rate is actually that rate, that is the cost of the borrowing funds which the bank is going to charge from you. The real interest rate, and now I'm going to make the differentiation between the real interest rate and the nominal interest rate. So the bank the interest rate which is being charged by the banks is actually the nominal interest rate. Now, how can we convert that nominal interest rate towards that of the real interest rate? When we correct it for the expected inflation. Suppose we are investing in a project which is going to give us the yield after the time period of about 1 year. So after the time period of 1 year, what would be the expected inflation? We have to make the estimations of that, and we have to correct our nominal interest rate with that expected nominal interest rate with that expected inflation rate. Now, the real interest rate is the nominal interest rate corrected for the expected inflation. It determines the cost of the investment. The interest rate represents either the cost of the borrowed funds or the opportunity cost of investing your funds, which is the income foregone. Now, interest rate is actually the cost of borrowing the funds from the bank. But what happens if you are going to invest your own income, if you own funds, or your father's or your mother's funds into the investment project? Then in that case, interest rate is always the cost of that investment. Why? In terms of the opportunity cost. As you have discussed in the microeconomics, that what you mean by the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means that if you are going to take your own money and invest in the project A, so you have the opportunity to invest that money in that of the bank, and you can generate the income stream equal to that of the interest rate. Now, there are two options. One is that you can invest the money into the bank and can generate the income in the form of the interest rate, and the second option is that you have invested it in a factory. So you have to chosen the option B. Now, the opportunity cost of the option B is the option A, and the option A is that you could have invested that income into the bank, and the income which you are going to generate from that investment is the interest rate. So interest rate is always the marginal cost of the investment, whether you have taken the loan from the bank or you have invested your own income in the form of the investment. In both of the cases, the interest rate is always the marginal cost, because it is second option, it is the opportunity cost of investing your own fund, and which is the income foregone. Now, If the real interest rate exceeds the expected rate of return, investment should not be made. The real interest rate rather than the nominal interest rate is crucial in making the investment decisions. Now, how can we convert this nominal interest rate into the real interest rate? The formula of converting is the nominal interest rate minus the inflation rate is equal to the real interest rate. So, in order to make the decisions that whether you should go for that some investment opportunity or not, the basic decision must be made on the basis of the real interest rate rather than the nominal interest rate. So, what is the inflation is occurring, how the inflation is going to impact our investment decision. Now, suppose we are going to take the initial example in which the investment of the $1,000 and the expected rate of return is the 10% and the nominal interest rate is the 15%. Now, this nominal interest rate of 15% is representing the marginal cost and the expected rate of return of the 10% is representing the marginal benefit. So, from looking from this scenario, the marginal benefit is less than the marginal cost. If you are being asked that you are going to for this investment opportunity or not, I think that your decision would be that you are not going to opt for this investment opportunity. Is the investment profitable? No, as far as this information is concerned. So now from this scenario, a new variable which is being entered into it is the inflation. Inflation represents the general rise in the price level, that represents the महंगाई. However, if there is ongoing inflation of 10% per year, now is the investment profitable? From this scenario, there would only two things. One is the marginal benefit, another one is the marginal cost. Now, the third thing which is being introduced into the scenario is the inflation rate, and the inflation rate is of 10%. Now, what you have to do with this inflation rate, you have to convert this nominal interest rate into the real interest rate. So, nominal interest rate is 15%, the real interest rate is only 5%. As how can we convert the nominal interest rate into the real interest rate? It is the nominal interest rate minus the inflation rate. Sorry, it is not 5%, it is 10%. This one is 10. So 15 minus 10, answer is equal to the 5. Now, by comparing the real 5% of real interest rate with the 10% of the expected rate or real rate of return, the investment is still profitable. So, we have to look at the inflation rate while deciding that we should go for that investment opportunity or not. So, it is not the nominal interest rate which is crucial in making the decision for any investment opportunity. It is the real interest rate which is very much important as compared to that of the nominal interest rate. And how can we convert the nominal interest rate into the real interest rate? Is that real interest rate is equal to the nominal interest rate minus the inflation. Now, if the result is greater than the expected rate of return, you should not go for that investment opportunity. But if the real interest rate is less than the expected rate of return, you should opt for that investment opportunity. Now, the investment demand curve. Now, there's a concept, this term which is being used, which is being attached with the investment. Because of the fact that we demand investment from the bank, we demand capital from the bank. That's why it is termed as the investment demand curve. Now, the investment demand schedule or curve shows an inverse relationship between the interest rate and the amount of the investment. Interest rate is the cost of the borrowing, and investment is actually what we are going to demand from the bank. Higher the interest rate means that lesser is the amount of the investment, and lesser the interest rate means higher will be the amount of the investment. And how this relationship works, because of the fact as long as the expected returns exceeds the interest rate, the investment is expected to be profitable. But if the expected return is less than the interest rate, the investment is not profitable.